What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Finding Me Through Christ, where I details the ups and the downs of finding me through Christ and how you can too. So, for complete transparency purposes, I just want to start off by explaining to you guys where I've been at and what I've been doing. So, for starters, I've been home. I'm in school right now, so that takes up my time. And on top of that, it took me a while to post because for so long I have felt inadequate. Like I wasn't purposed to speak on God and how God has moved within my life, which is crazy because I mean it's my life, but I feel like I wasn't equipped to speak about God because, for one, I'm still in the early stages of getting to know God myself and having a great relationship with Him. So I kind of got discouraged because I would see other people that I feel like that are further along in their journey with God, and they're more knowledgeable than me, and I just was doubting myself. Like the devil was just putting those seeds of doubt in my head, and it really caused me to not post whenever I felt like God was speaking to me, and that is something that I am learning to not do, because I don't know who may need that message when it's given to me. And I just say I'm not a prophet. Um, I'm not trying to be a prophet. I just want to be able to share my testimony so that it may help others become closer and grow closer to the Most High. So I just wanted to get that out the way um, and give you guys a little explanation on why I haven't been posting. I know it's only a few of y'all, but still wanted to do that. Now, getting into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and hit that post notification bell to be notified when I post a new video, if you haven't already. So let's get started. Um, I'm actually pretty nervous. But as you can see by the title, I'm going to basically talk about what it was like for me when God was calling me to have a relationship with Him. And it may be different for, it's gonna probably be different for everybody else, but for me, just from my experience, because I like to speak on my experience because it's something that I've actually been through, and I don't want to get up here and seem like a hypocrite or whatever. I'm always going to try to speak from my experience or what I've learned over the years. So I came to build a stronger relationship with God about 4 years ago. It was about 4 years ago, and really I was going through a time period where I did not know what I was going to do with my life. I was dealing with a lot of pain, a lot of resentment, a lot of hurt during that time, and I was literally probably on the brink of crashing out because that's just how bad it was for me. And on top of that, I had just had a baby, so I was also dealing with postpartum depression. It was just a lot. It was a lot going on during that time, but one thing I will say though, I know He never has left me during any of my tough times, because I do feel like when I am going through a tough time, I do feel Him there. It may not be in a way that I would like him, but I do feel him there. Like when after I get out of that mode, I can always pinpoint a time where I felt his presence the most. But um, if you guys watched my previous video, I told you guys how and why I really started to pursue a relationship with God, and that was because of one of my favorite authors. I love to read. I'm an avid reader, so one of my favorite authors, she had a book. She has a book, and that book just kept calling out to me and speaking to me to read it. And I was just like, I didn't want to read it because I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a religious book, and it was a religious book, but I didn't want it to be like one of those religious books that where it's like, I don't know what I thought at the time. At the time, I was just like, I don't want to read it. I just kept going past it and going past the book and going past it until finally I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to read this book. And I read that book, and it opened my eyes to who God was. It showed me a glimpse of who he was. And I wanted that. I wanted to have that relationship with him so bad. So in terms of me having my eyes open, I opened my Bible. I started doing my research and just really praying harder and making sure that I understood what I was reading. And at the time, I didn't understand much of anything of what I was reading, but I understood that I'm still growing, I'm still a baby in this walk. So when I look back on that moment, I realized that that was God calling me to have the relationship with him because he used someone else to get me to see like who he is. And sometimes God uses other people to get his message across or to get your attention, and that's exactly what I felt like he did, because he used a way to connect with me from what I was doing majority of my time, when I was going through that time period, was reading and trying to fill my mind with something to fill that hole, that gap, or that missing piece that I was feeling in my heart. And he used that moment to connect with me and to get me to have the relationship with him. So after I read that book, it was just like everything changed for me, because I started to ask more questions about God. I started to really unlearn the things that I have been taught all of my life. Now, a I don't come from a very religious family. Like I have, some religious family members, but they didn't really teach us they didn't really teach us about God like that. So I actually came to know him, by myself. And the thing is, when I was younger, my mom, whenever it was a Sunday, she would turn on her gospel music and she would just clean up and listen and sing to her, her gospel music and stuff. And I would be right there. And I didn't know at the time, like, why I was feeling like that urge to be in that presence. I didn't even know what presence that was, but I know I felt comfort. I felt safe. I felt happy. I felt a lot of emotions, sometimes even sad emotions, when I would be praised and worshiping, with her on the side. And I don't think she noticed at the time, like, that I will always be there every time she would turn the music on or whatever. And then sometimes even when I would be cleaning, I would turn it on, and it was like I just felt like that urgency, that need, but I didn't understand it. I was still a baby, not really understanding why I was feeling those things every time a gospel song comes on. And it was like the need grew stronger as I grew older to know God. And every time I hear a praise and worship song, like it would just be like it did something to my soul. And there would be times where I feel like I will feel God's presence so much that it would bring tears to my eyes, and I didn't know. And I still, whenever I praise and worship, I still get teary eyed at times. And in these, it's not tears of more so sadness. It's more so the tears of feeling His love, knowing that He loves you so much and that He wants to have that relationship with you so much. It brings you that feeling of joy as well. Like with me, I've never truly had a father in my life the way that most fathers would be. And so when I found and felt my father in heaven's love, it caused me to really look at him for what he really is, in a sense. If I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying when I say that, but the love, the power I felt whenever I would praise and worship would be the reason why I would, and still oftentimes get teary eyed or whatever when I'm praise and worshiping. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say that it hasn't been a hard journey, because it has been the most hardest journey outside of giving birth to my children. Because there's temptation all around, and there's always going to be the devil trying to sneak in and plant these seeds of doubt, or to steer you off the path that God has you walking. It's definitely been hard for me, but it's also been very rewarding, because I've healed so much through God. I've learned so much about myself through the Most High, and just being able to really start to live at peace with the things that has happened to me in my past, and people who have wronged me, helping me to forgive them, and just really not hold or harbor any hate in my heart. So it's been very fulfilling. It's been very hard, but it's also been very worth it. So I just wanted to come on here and give you guys, just give you guys a look on what it's like for God to call your name. And I just say, there's nothing or no one that will be able to stop God's will on your life. If He's calling you to do something bigger and better, then it's gonna happen. There's not gonna be a moment in time where there is gonna be a moment in time where you're questioning yourself, you're doubting yourself. Don't, don't, because God was calling you for a reason. So don't doubt yourself. Pray about it. Make sure you spend as much time in His presence and just talking to Him so you can get clarification. But don't do what I did and pretty much, you know, let the devil plant those seeds of doubt in my head and stop me out of fear from doing what God wanted me to do at that moment. So that's all I will leave you guys with at the time. Stay tuned for the next episode, and I hope that if you're starting out on your journey of knowing Christ, or you hear God's calling, listen to it, submit to that call, because although things in this journey has been hard for me, it's also been a blessing, and you will get so much out of being in God's presence than being in the world. So that's it for now, and stay tuned for the next episode.